Sonny Styles was already a good defender at safety. Turns out he's well on his way to being a great one at linebacker. Welcome back to BuckIQ. That is Zach Boren. I am Austin Ward. And somebody I know, Zach, has been saying for, I don't know, 3-4 years longer, Sonny Styles is built to play linebacker.
I wonder who that person is.
Think it was you.
I know. I've seen, Sonny went to my high school. I've known about Sonny, known Sonny for a very long time. I have always thought he would excel so much better at linebacker than he would at safety. And we're seeing it this year, right? Like every single week, he seems to get stronger and stronger. And so much of making a position switch like that is your confidence, and you're starting to see him play with more and more confidence. His reads are getting faster. He's reacting faster. He's anticipating faster. Like so many of those things that you need to be a great defender, he's starting to get that by getting more and more game reps at linebacker.
And I like what you're saying there, Zach, where it's starting, because he's the leading tackler for Ohio State. He's a Butkus semifinalist. But even just a week ago, there were 3 missed tackles. It wasn't a perfect outing. You could look at some of the great stuff that he did against Northwestern. It wasn't a finished product yet. Like, he is becoming one of the most important pieces for the Silver Bullets, and he's still getting better, still grinding to get better. I talked to him after the game on Saturday. He's like, well, I'm going to focus on the things I didn't do well because there are still plenty of them. That's the scary thought for how good he could become.
Yeah, well, the scary thing is he's still making mistakes during the game, right? Like he hasn't played a clean game yet, and you're talking about the leading tackler on the team in a Butkus Award semifinalist, right? Like what he's able to do without still playing a clean game and reaching his full potential at this position is quite honestly scary, right? Like when things start to click, and when he starts to play at the highest level that he can play. I mean, he is dominant. He's long. He's rangy. He can do so many things. He tackles really well. He can play inside the box. We all know he can play in space by being a former safety. Like, his speed is there. We see him rushing the quarterback. Like, I've said it for the longest time as well. I think he's a great blitzer, and you saw it this past Saturday with 2 sacks. And obviously, both those times, guess what? He's able to get after the blitzer, able to use his athleticism and run quarterbacks down. So there are so many things that he can do well at the linebacker position. When they all click, watch out.
Why were you always so convinced that that's where Sonny needed to land?
I was so convinced because I saw it in high school. I mean, people don't realize this. He was, the top rated safety coming out of high school. At our high school, he was playing outside linebacker. Like that's what he played. They would put him up at the line of scrimmage and literally tell him to go rush the quarterback, and he would absolutely dominate a football game. And he's a big dude. Like, I've seen him back in, I think I saw him after his freshman year back in Pickerington. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy is massive. Like he is every bit of 6'4", every bit of it. He is a thick dude. Like you don't see safeties like that anymore in this day and age. And so I'm like, this is, the guy from Clemson, was it Isaiah Simmons or like he is a clone of him. And I feel like until Sonny got it into his head that like, hey, I need to buy into being that linebacker, being able to play inside the box and not be that free roaming safety that I have my entire life that I think I am. Like that's when he was going to actually come into actually who he is with his body, with his full potential. And that's what we're seeing now.
Yeah. And it looks like he's allowed to eat food now, which is great. So
yeah. Yeah, well, that's the other thing, right? At safety, they were trying to keep him super skinny the entire time. Like his body's meant to be probably 225, right? And at safety, you cannot do that. They're trying to keep him around 200 pounds. And so now, guess what? Beef him up. Let him get in the weight room. Let him lift weights. Let him do those things that he should be doing. And now you're seeing the player that he is.
Coming into his own, and he had a silver bullet of the game type performance in the win at Northwestern. Let's see what he did and roll the tape. All right, Zach, he got rolling pretty early on, and I just consider this a Boren blitz. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a delayed blitz here, and we're going to see so much of what Sonny can do and his versatility. But right here, obviously, he's coming on a blitz right here with Cody. He lets Cody go. He's playing some kind of a quarterback spy. You obviously see Arvell Reese on the running back, some kind of man coverage right here. Sonny's a spy, sees a quarterback in the pocket. Guess what? I'm going to trigger. I'm going to take off, and he finishes and makes the sack.
Yeah. When do you know, Zach? When's the right time to go?
Right there, when the quarterback plants his foot, you can see Sonny start to go, right? Because at this point, you don't know really what's going on. You're that safe player. They call it a spy. That's what everyone, that's the key word. And so once you know that the quarterback's committed to this being a pass play, you can trigger, especially at this point. Guess what? He knows I'm in a good position to trigger. I know I still got leverage on this quarterback. I can go get after him.
This was early in the game. This drive continued on after it, Zach. But like, I want to spin it off. Jack Sawyer was getting to the quarterback a lot, and then we've seen some of these combinations with both Cody and Sonny blitzing. It feels very different schematically than a month and a half ago at Oregon.
Yeah, for sure. I think, there's so much more pressure that's being brought, and they're trying to put so much more stress on the quarterback. And I think Oregon was that trigger point, right? Where you didn't get a hit on Dylan Gabriel the entire game. The defensive coaches realized you need to add some more pressure. And now you're seeing a lot more of that. And so much of that's coming from these Cody and Sonny blitzes.
This one was, another look at sort of the versatility as well, because Ohio State, again, trying to get after the quarterback, be aggressive. And then something could have a very bad happen when you get a little gadget play.
Yeah, this is where I saw Sonny in high school. We just touched on this. Like, this is when I knew he was going to be a linebacker and should be a linebacker. Coming off the edge, he is so good. He's athletic. He can see stuff. He's quick. Obviously, right here, I'm sure the defensive coach is like, "Thank God you batted this down because you ran right by the quarterback, and it should have, they call it alert, right? You should all the sirens should have been going off because you should have been alerted that quarterback was leaking out." But guess what? You still get after the running back in this case. You're making the play. I mean, look at this athleticism, right? He's able to knock the ball down, make the play. I love it.
How does that work in the grade room, Zach? It's like if you're supposed to maybe key on the quarterback and be aware, that could be a minus, but then if you make the play, you bet on yourself, you get the plus.
So much of grades are 2 grades, right? So if you do what you're supposed to do and like make the play, it's plus plus. If you make the play but don't do what you're supposed to do, it's like minus plus. And then guess what? If you're doing what you're supposed to do but don't make the play, it's plus minus, right? So I'm sure in this case he got a minus plus because he should have been alerted to something else, but he made the play.
Yeah, that sounds right. So he still got some of those safety skills. And
for sure. And this is the versatility that we were just talking about. He can do so many things. Right here, you see him lined up against the tight end. And we've seen Ohio State do that so much with him is, hey, if there is an athletic tight end, like you match him up. If you guys remember 2 years ago against Georgia, Sonny's the one that they lined up against Brock Bowers, right? And they're the ones who said, hey, listen, you go toe-to-toe with this guy. And so Sonny being right here, being able to break on the football, I know he's looking for that first pick, and I'm sure that one, his eyes got a little wide. But, I mean, that's just perfect defense, and that's the versatility that we're talking about. So athletic, so rangy, has great ball skills. So there you go. Another play made by Sonny.
Right there. 2 passes broken up in this one. You know that he wants to get that interception, especially coming off of last season and playing in the secondary. He's still got some of that BIA mentality in him.
No doubt. It's coming. This week, Indiana throws the ball a lot. I can feel it. Big one coming for Sonny.
All right. A little boring, bold prediction. Love that.
Yeah. And now this next one, this last play that we're going to see, here is Sonny again, blitzing, and look how fast and athletic this is, right? Like, this is, again, we've seen him blitz multiple times on this. He is so good when he is coming full steam ahead and able to use his speed, athleticism, and length getting after the quarterback. Like, you see they're showing a blitz package right here with Arvell and Sonny. Obviously, Arvell's showing he's spying on the running back. They call this a green dog, right? So a lot of times it's me, you. So Sonny and Arvell would be saying, hey, it's me, you. If the running back peels out to the right, Sonny's going to take him, Arvell's going to come. Running back stays on the left-hand side. Arvell is mirroring him, and then Sonny shooting. And here you see Sonny get through, and then green dog, Arvell would be able to trigger as well once he sees the running back staying in, which is what you see him doing. But with Sonny's speed, with his athleticism, he's getting this quarterback down on the ground really quick.
Yeah, no delay about this one. Just Sonny Styles flat out getting after it, getting to the quarterback immediately. That's that complete package that we're talking about with versatility, read, react, speed, strength. Like he's got all of it. I think that's the part that he's all putting it together. He's just 10 games into it. Ohio State has sort of figured out ways, I think, to put him in a position to use all of that in a way that maybe in September he was still figuring it out.
No doubt. And these next couple games are huge for Sonny. I mean, massive. Indiana obviously likes to spread the ball around, use their athleticism and get guys in space. Sonny needs to be used for that, getting after the quarterback. The other thing is against Michigan, right? We see them. They like to run the football and put you in binds that way. Sonny's got to play big. And then obviously against Oregon, right? Like that is a Sonny Styles type of game. Athletic, rangy. That is where he needs to excel and make some massive plays.
All right, that next opportunity, as you said, is coming up against top 5 undefeated Indiana Saturday noon in the Horseshoe. Can't wait to be out there for that one and see what the Silver Bullets can do. And we'll break it down next week on BuckIQ as we always do with Zach Boren. For Zach, I am Austin Ward. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.